Staying on the subject of the accusations against President Biden from Republicans, I know it feels like we're just spending so much time on this. Excuse me. But we're watching as Republicans prepare to launch an impeachment inquiry. So this is a notable political event, no matter how outrageous or hilarious at some points. Well, Jessica Tarlov, just the warrior liberal host on The Five on Fox News, who does an incredible job of fending off all these different hosts as they spew a whole lot of nonsense, and it's her versus four people most of the time. It's just debating. Very nicely broke down, as she does consistently, why the allegations that now are justifying Republicans saying we're going to impeach President Joe Biden possibly just don't hold water despite the claims to the contrary on Fox News.
Jessica, come on.
Yeah, come on, Jessica. I don't even know what that means.
Come on.
You know what it means.
Well.
Can I go?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. Oh, of course. If I want to talk about climate change, I'm going to go on the Weather Channel to talk about climate change. It seems like a pretty obvious
That's so
place.
vain.
Not just me. I mean, anyone. Like, if Republicans cared about climate change, then they should also go on the Weather Channel to talk about climate change.
Quickly, and then we'll play more of this. She's responding to this talking point of, suspicious. Biden did an interview on the Weather Channel. Why was he on the Weather Channel? And one Fox News correspondent or guest, as I covered today on the David Pakman Show guest hosting, was saying that Biden was doing an interview on the Weather Channel to, and this is even hard to keep up with, makes my brain ache, to tell people who get asked about Biden's conversations with Hunter Biden and Hunter Biden's business associates to say all they ever talked about was weather. Because in Devin Archer's testimony, the former business associate of Hunter Biden, he said, so Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, as we talked about in the last segment, they did talk a lot on the phone, father and son, okay. And because they talk so often, if Hunter Biden was with business associates, sometimes to impress them, he would put Joe Biden on speakerphone. But then what was the nature of the conversations? Well, it would just be small talk. It wouldn't be business dealings. It would be, how's the weather, stuff like that. And so there he's saying, interesting. We find out they talked about weather on the phone call, and now he's doing an interview on the Weather Channel.
Now to Devin Archer. So the testimony, and he wasn't under oath, but he still wasn't allowed to lie to them, was terrible for the Republicans. Jim Comer didn't even show up to think, well, let's use real words then instead of laughing or saying, come on. He was asked, if someone concluded from the 1023 form that you all think is so important that Joe Biden was bribed, would you disagree with that? Yeah, I would, Devin Archer said that.
What does he know about that?
Yeah. Well, then he doesn't matter. Then Devin Archer is either the crux of the puzzle that shows that this is a mob family, or he doesn't matter.
No, it
he
matters
said
when
that
he's
Victor,
in the middle of it. If he's in the middle of a dinner, then it matters. If it's something that he's not there, then it doesn't matter.
Okay. Victor Shokin was not good for Burisma, as I've been telling you, as has been widely reported, as the entire Western world.
Why?
Because he wasn't investigating the corruption.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He was seizing their cars.
Well, wait a minute. Then what was he doing? What was Shokin
I'm
doing?
so glad that you're back. Okay, hold on one second.
Oh, that's not good.
Did Hunter ever ask Joe to take any official actions? Devin Archer, he did not. Pretty clear language.
They talk.
Oh my goodness. So this is so aggravating, and she calls it out. But Republicans have been saying, whoa, now we got some new information. Now we got the big bombshell because Hunter Biden's business or former business associate, Devin Archer, testified in front of the House Oversight Committee. And he blew the lid off of it. So then you go, oh, okay, well, let's read what he said then, right? Oh, no, they didn't talk about business dealings. Oh, no, he didn't ask for policy changes from his father. Oh, no, Victor Shokin wasn't someone that Burisma wanted fired, but Biden did it anyways. And they go, well, he doesn't know anything. Devin Archer doesn't know. Well, then why are you, what? You bring up his testimony to say that it's proving things against Biden. So then we look at the testimony and go, no, it doesn't. And then you go, why are you talking about Devin Archer? We don't want to talk about that.
Talk on the phone every day.
Oh, also the calls, which there are 20 calls over the course of a decade, he said weren't just the weather. He said they did talk about family.
That was
and
a
fishing.
wink and a nod. Did you see the interview? He goes, we talked about the weather.
You guys will say anything.
No, that's what he said.
There's a new oversight memo that's out today which again does not explain what services were provided by
Exactly.
the Bidens.
Exactly.
They didn't have any services.
Why
They
is it
don't have
getting
a
the money?
Then
business.
what did they do?
Exactly. We're asking the same question.
No, they
There's
wouldn't.
no-
They
They
withheld
fired the
our
prosecutor.
tax- and they
We
did
got the
not
Chinese
taxpayer
kid
money.
in the
Complete chaos.
And I should have said this last week. The IMF, which you said we run, stands for the International
We fund
Monetary.
the IMF. It's
Everybody
our rich
funds
people.
the IMF.
It's our rich guys trying to get the
It's
prosecutor
great to
away
go
from a
ahead.
company
I had
that we
too
want
much
to do
peace
business
and
with.
quiet on my boat.
Well, it's over. Welcome back.
I think we should move on.
Credit to Jessica Tarlov. I've debated people before, one-on-one, maybe one-on-two, maybe unsuccessfully one-on-three, but one-on-four, and people who spend their whole life practicing being dishonest on national television, and you have to debate them on national television, that is quite the mountain to climb. Credit to her for that. And then they end on the subject that we ended last segment with, but I want to touch on it again. In the Devin Archer testimony that they say is a bombshell testimony, he confirms that Victor Shokin, who was the top prosecutor, the attorney general, if I'm not mistaken, in Ukraine, who was known to be lots of allegations against him of being corrupt. Victor Shokin, Biden, and the international community wanted fired to assist in addressing the corruption in Ukraine. This was one of the steps in a broader effort to root out corruption in Ukraine. And so then Biden, that was one of the things he was doing, was trying to pressure to get this prosecutor removed, fired. And we've now learned from the former business associate of Hunter Biden that Victor Shokin was actually good for Burisma because, yes, he was overseeing the investigation into them as the top prosecutor over all these investigations. But actually, because he was corrupt, according to their witness, wasn't actually serious about following through with accountability for the top executives at Burisma. Thus, they actually liked having him there. The appearance of someone who is looking into them, sort of, but actually doesn't want to hold them accountable, actually is corrupt himself. So they didn't want him fired, and Biden did it anyways. So as I said in the last segment, what you're accusing Biden of is being bribed to hurt his son's company. And why would they need to bribe Biden, even if they wanted the prosecutor fired, if the entire set of allies of countries and Obama and the US government apparatus all wanted this prosecutor fired anyway? So of course Biden was going to, whether he wanted to or not, have to push for that to happen unless he wanted to have a whole lot of conflict with all these important people. So you're bribing him to do something he was going to do anyways? It makes absolutely no sense, but that's the narrative. You make a fool of yourself when you're so desperate to hurt someone politically. My goodness. Make sure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are able to be uploaded to the YouTube channel, plus get the bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.